I want you to do something for me. Raise your right hand, now lower it. 3 seconds later, imagine your reflection did the same thing, not at the same time. After 3 full seconds of delay, as if the mirror needed a moment to decide whether to show you what you'd already done. That's what I'm watching right now. I'm sitting at my kitchen table. The mirror is leaning against the wall across from me, and every time I move, every breath, every blink, every time I lift my coffee cup, my reflection waits. Then, 3 seconds later, it catches up. I've been watching this happen for 11 days. I bought the mirror at an estate sale 3 weeks ago, a house on Mercer Street. One of those old colonials with a wraparound porch and crown molding you don't see anymore. The woman whose house it was had died in March. Her kids were selling everything: furniture, books, a grandfather clock that nobody wanted, and this mirror. It's tall, floor to ceiling, maybe 6 feet. Walnut frame with a carved rope detail running along the top edge. The glass has that warmth that old silvered mirrors have, a yellowish cast that makes the room behind you look lit by something other than the light actually in the room. I bought it because it was beautiful. $75. The daughter helping with the sale looked relieved when I carried it out. I drove it home, strapped upright in the back of my car, brought it in by myself, and leaned it against the bedroom wall. The first night, I didn't notice anything. The second night, I noticed something, but didn't believe it. I was getting ready for bed. I raised my arm to pull off my shirt, and something felt wrong. Not wrong in a way I could name, just a half second where the room seemed to miss a frame. I stopped, stared at the mirror. My reflection stared back. I lifted my hand slowly. The reflection lifted its hand at the same time. I told myself I was tired. The third night I timed it. I set my phone on the dresser with the stopwatch running, and I sat in front of the mirror, and I raised my hand at the 0 mark. I counted. 1, 2, 3. The reflection raised its hand. I did it 4 more times. The lag was consistent. Never 2 seconds, never 4. Always 3. I moved the mirror to the living room. I told myself it was a light thing, some trick of the angle, the old glass, the way the lamp was positioned. In the living room, the lag was 3 seconds. I moved it to the hallway. 3 seconds. I dragged it downstairs to the kitchen and leaned it against the wall under the fluorescent light. The worst possible light for tricks and illusions, and I stood in front of it and raised my hand. 1, 2, 3. The reflection raised its hand. For the first week, I didn't tell anyone. I wasn't sure what I would say. The mirror I bought is 3 seconds slow. It sounded like a punchline. I started filming it instead, short clips on my phone, trying to capture what I was seeing. When I played them back, the lag was visible, clear enough that I watched the clips 4 or 5 times each, looking for the edit, the splice, the cut I must have made without knowing. There wasn't one. I sent 1 clip to my brother. He watched it twice and called me. He said it looked like a processing delay, like a video call with bad connection. He asked if I had a camera rigged to a screen somewhere. I told him no. He said maybe the glass itself was doing something, some property of the old silvering. He said there was probably a scientific explanation. He hasn't asked about it since. By day 8, the lag was still 3 seconds. Exactly 3 seconds. And I had started to notice that the reflection wasn't just slow. It was accurate. That's what I mean when I say it took me 8 days to understand what was actually wrong. When I moved, the reflection moved 3 seconds later, but it moved the way I had moved. Not an approximation, not a simplified version of the gesture. It reproduced the exact movement, The slight overextension when I reached for something, the way I tilt my head left before I speak, things I don't decide to do. Things I didn't know I did until I saw them played back at a 3-second delay, precise and patient, by something that had apparently been watching me long enough to know. Last night, I stood in front of the mirror for a long time. I wasn't moving. I wanted to see what it would do when there was nothing to repeat. For 3 seconds, it was still. Then it caught up to my stillness, and we stood there, the reflection and I, watching each other. I don't know how long I stood there. Long enough that my legs started to ache. Long enough that the light outside the kitchen window went from blue to black. I turned to go to bed. I was halfway down the hallway when I thought of something. A question I hadn't thought to ask in 11 days of timing and filming and testing. If the reflection is always 3 seconds behind me, what does it do when I'm not in front of it? I went back to the kitchen. The mirror was dark. I was standing at the wrong angle in the doorway, and I couldn't see myself in the glass. But something was moving. A shape in the depth of the mirror, slow and rhythmic, like something settling or breathing. And then it stopped. I turned the kitchen light off and went to bed, and I did not look back. That was last night. This morning, I came downstairs and made coffee and sat at the kitchen table. The mirror is still here. The lag is still 3 seconds. I've been telling myself I'm going to move it to the garage today. I've been telling myself that for 4 days. I'm going to do it tonight. After dark, I think, when I can't see the reflection as clearly. I don't know why that feels like the right time. I'm going to go do it now. I'll raise my hand to say goodbye first. See if it does the same. 1, 2, 3. If you want more stories like this, subscribe to Lore Machina. We'll see you in the dark.